Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Do I have the bread sufficient for the day? So yesterday we broke down the structure of the Lord's Prayer and found some surprising things. That God, the big one is, that God has some concerns in the Lord's Prayer. The way it starts is to address our Father in heaven, and then there's three concerns that are listed for God, and then three concerns listed for us, people. And we ask, why should I attend to what draws the attention of God? Why do you hear what God wishes us to address regarding his concerns? Now, they are in the Lord's Prayer, his name, his kingdom, and his will. And we notice that he asks us to take interest in those things which concern himself. The holiness of his name, the coming of his kingdom, and the accomplishment of his will. Now, how much do the priorities, and we ask how much do the priorities of God come upon us? Are we also concerned with his name, his reputation, his kingdom, the real estate of his kingdom, the expansion of his kingdom, and then the rule, the control that infiltrates our prayers? Now, today, we're going to kind of switch as the structure changes. Now we get to talk about our concerns. That flip is in Matthew chapter 6, verse 11. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive those of our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. So again, what categories does Jesus teach us to pray in this model prayer? Today we're going to land on especially, give us this day our daily bread. And then tomorrow, forgive us our debtors and lead us not into temptation. So Matthew 6:34 kind of comments on this, which says, just same chapter, just a little further down, don't be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. So the prayer that we're doing today, give us this day our daily bread. Give us this, on this current day, the resources sufficient for the coming day. Now, this is a very humble prayer for supply when I need it, which is now. Give me the bread sufficient for the day so that I can be sufficient to the day. And what supply do we need now, maybe this morning as you watch this, so that you can have the material, physical stuff, and the spiritual subsistence necessary to the tasks of this day? So we're asking, fill my tank with exactly the right ingredients to be ready for the challenges in the very near future. Now, think about this. God did not design us, or God did not need to design us into needing to eat 3 times a day. I think he did it on purpose, that we would be dependent here, while we're here on this planet, to the planet's provision, and ultimately to the design of God. Now, apparently, he wants us to pause, to appreciate, to give thanks to him, to remember his provision for the day, and all day after day until the days are over. For example, I don't know what's ahead 3 years from today, but it's probably going to involve breakfast. So this fourth petition, 3 of them were for the Lord's. Now, this is the first one that's directed at us, focuses on the daily and physical needs and their supply. And it's not too far of a stretch to also think of this as spiritual manna, spiritual provision for the spiritual efforts that are necessary for today. So this daily bread means this coming upon bread from heaven. Our physical supply is ultimately from the Lord. So what if you have maybe more bread, more physical supply than is required for this day? Should we respond in pride? Now, Deuteronomy chapter 8 cautions us very significantly about that in verse 17. Beware lest you say in your heart, my power and the might of my hand has gotten me this wealth. You shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth. So it's all from the Lord, and so ultimately it is all for the Lord. Now, this is like a spiritual manna that he gives us every day. Psalm 119, the great, long, and wonderful psalm about the word, has this great line in it, thy word is a lamp to my feet. Now, think of this as nighttime. There's a lot of darkness out there. There's 100% darkness. But then I have a lamp, a single flame, and my lamp is small, but it's enough for the navigation that I need right now. That is for my feet, that my feet do not stumble or go off a cliff or something. So I don't need the light of the brightest sun, but I do need the light for my feet. That is where I am, what I'm stepping amidst, and what my local next steps are. So the light of even the small flame is precious amidst this great darkness. It's the same concept. So give us this day our daily bread. May I live in a state of constant dependence on the physical provision of the Lord and the spiritual provision of the Lord. So what's ahead for me today? Prepare me physically and emotionally to be ready for it. Give me courage today, or kindness today, or wisdom today, or even the calories today. And if I have excess of any of those, I pray for my brothers and sisters who may be right on the edge of their limits. Those sick, those grieving, those struggling with temptation, those in need of spiritual provision. Proverbs 38 helps us to be humble. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with the food that is needful for me, lest I be full and deny you and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and profane the name of the Lord. So give us this day our daily bread. We are dependent upon you and your provision. So this is a spiritual podcast, sort of, that's launched into the reality of the daily struggles of provision that we face. And Lord, we have real needs in real times, and you see it. Give us this day our daily bread. Please, Lord, give me and us the bread sufficient for the day, so that we can be sufficient to the day. Thanks for listening.